XC60 Review 9. Sound new XC60 offers the same thing as other recent Volvos: confident dynamics and a superb interior. What is it? The new Volvo XC60 is probably the easiest car your head around this year. You know how people love SUVs and crossovers? Well, they like that the previous generation XC60, despite being 9 years old, sold in greater numbers in 2016 than it ever had in its life before. That's not how car sales patterns are meant to work. They usually peak a year or two after launch, and then slowly fade thereafter. But it shows how much people want A, Volvo, B, an SUV, and C, ideally, a Volvo SUV. So here we are. Volvo is undergoing something of a resurgence, what with the new XC90 and S and V90. This new XC60 is in the same vein, which is why if you've been following Volvo's newfound good fortune at all, you'll know what to expect. It's an Audi Q5/BMW X3/Land Rover Discovery sport-sized car, then, that uses the same scalable product architecture as PN's Volvo's 90 models. At 4.7 meters long, the 5-seater is a little longer and wider but lower than the previous generation XC60, and designed on the outside to have some new Volvo cues but retain lots of the appeal that made the old car such a success. When it comes to suspension and powertrains, here's the deal: double wishbones at the front, with an integral link setup at the rear, with coil springs at the front and a transverse leaf spring as standard at the back, and air springs optional all round. There's nothing bigger under the bonnet than an engine of 2.0 liters and of no more than 4 cylinders. That can mean petrol or diesel, turbocharging, or supercharging and turbocharging, or hybrid assistance, with some compressed air thrown in too, which I'll come back to. In the UK, we get 2 diesels, a 187 bhp D4 and a 232 bhp D5, 1 turbo petrol, the 250 bhp T5, and 1 petrol-electric hybrid, the 401 bhp T8. All get 8-speed autos and all-wheel drive, and, being a Volvo, about 20 dozen safety systems are standard, and upgrades on them optional. This drive is of the D5, which in Britain only comes in higher grade trims, while the range, in general, is priced from around £37,000 to £58,000. The meat of it comes in the low to mid-40s. What's it like? On the outside, the XC60 is at once familiar and yet obviously new at the same time, a bit like the XC90, in that way. Volvo talks about angling in the windows at the top to narrow the car's upper profile, and throwing back the windscreen, to make it more